What you are about to hear was never supposed to leak, but it did. And once you know it, you cannot unknow it. Hello, friends. My name is James, and you are watching Royal Daily Report, your number one source for the most exclusive, most shocking, and most talked about royal stories on the internet. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button right now because you do not want to miss what we have coming. And if you have been here from the beginning, you already know. We never stop. We never hold back. And tonight is no different. Let us get into it. Today is June 29th, 2026. And today, everything changed. Not slowly, not gradually, in 24 hours. On Friday, it was confirmed. The Sussex family, Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lilibet, were coming to Britain in July. King Charles had offered them a royal residence to stay in. The visit was real. The tickets were booked. After 4 years of waiting, 2 small children were finally coming home. And then, the very next day, it was all thrown into doubt. Reunite, the Royal and VIP Executive Committee, the body responsible for deciding who receives police protection in Britain, reportedly declined Harry's request for security cover. The same review that sources had been calling a formality for months. The same review that insiders had described as nailed on. Declined. And tonight, as the world tries to understand what just happened, one thing is clear above everything else. Archie and Lilibet are caught in the middle. Again, tonight we are telling you the full story of how a confirmed family reunion became a crisis in less than 24 hours. What the security decision actually means. What royal reporter Rebecca English said that has the palace furious. And why King Charles, according to reporting published today, is refusing to let any of this stop him from seeing his grandchildren. This is Royal Daily Report. And this story is breaking right now. Let us start with what was confirmed on Friday, June 27th. Because the confirmation was extraordinary. People magazine and ABC News both reported simultaneously that Harry and Meghan would travel to the United Kingdom in July with their 2 children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. The Royal Observer confirmed on June 26 that Meghan would make her first public appearance in Britain in 6 years. ABC News confirmed the family would travel to Birmingham for events connected to the 2027 Invictus Games. The visit would also include engagements with charities Harry supports personally, Scotty's Little Soldiers, Well Child, and the Invictus Games Foundation. And most significantly, King Charles had reportedly offered the Sussex family a royal residence to stay in during the visit. Not a hotel, a royal residence. The institution formally extending hospitality to the family that had spent years publicly criticizing it. It was, by every measure, a breakthrough moment. The biggest step toward reconciliation this family had taken in years. And then, the very next day, the story changed completely. If you want to understand exactly what happened in those 24 hours, subscribe to Royal Daily Report right now. Because what comes next is where this story takes a turn that nobody predicted. Here is what happened on Saturday, June 28th. Reunite, the body that reviews security arrangements for royals and VIPs, reportedly issued its decision on Harry's long-running application for reinstated police protection in Britain. And according to reporting published today, June 29th, the answer was no. Declined. After 6 months of review. After months of insiders telling reporters it was a formality. After sources describing the outcome as nailed on. After Harry's security situation being described by outlet after outlet as the last obstacle between his family and a safe UK return. Declined. The timing is almost impossible to believe. One day after the family's July visit was confirmed. One day after Charles offered them a royal residence. One day after 4 years of waiting appeared to finally be over. Reunite said no. And suddenly, the visit that was confirmed on Friday is in doubt on Sunday. GEO.TV, reporting today, described the situation as a PR disaster for the palace. Royal reporter Rebecca English, one of the most respected and well-sourced royal correspondents working in Britain, said that Buckingham Palace's patience is being pushed to the limit by what she called the psychodrama surrounding the Sussexes. She said the couple is responsible for creating the disaster for themselves. Those are not gentle words. From a royal reporter whose sources sit inside the palace. This is the institution expressing, through a trusted journalist, exactly how frustrated it has become with a situation that was supposed to be a moment of healing and has become, In the space of 24 hours, yet another crisis. Like this video right now if this story is hitting you with the force of everything this family has been through. And subscribe to Royal Daily Report, because what comes next is the one detail that changes everything. Now here is the part of this story that matters most. And it comes from GOTV's reporting today, June 29th, citing royal reporter Rebecca English directly. Despite everything, despite the security decline, despite the psychodrama, despite the palace's patience being pushed to the limit, King Charles has not changed his position on one thing. He still wants to see Archie and Lilibet. According to Rebecca English, the security PR disaster that Harry and Meghan have created for the palace has not deterred the king's stance on meeting his grandchildren. Read that again. Everything around this visit is in chaos. The security is declined. The palace is furious. The timing is a disaster. And Charles, the 77-year-old grandfather fighting cancer who has not seen these two children since June 2022, is still determined, still holding his position, still saying, whatever else is happening, I want to see my grandchildren. A former royal butler, Grant Harold, speaking to Express.co.uk on June 26th, captured Charles's attitude perfectly. He said, I think the only thing that will stop it happening is if there is a diary clash. He said, the king goes up to Scotland for the summer, but I am sure he will do everything he can to make it work. This will be extremely important to the king, and he will make it a priority. And the same report confirmed something even more significant. Charles had reportedly offered Harry not just a royal residence to stay in, but his own personal security during the visit. The King of England offering to personally cover his son's security because the official government body refused to. Think about what that offer represents. A father working around every obstacle, every institutional refusal, every piece of bureaucratic machinery that keeps getting in the way to make one thing possible: seeing his grandchildren. Do not go anywhere. Subscribe to Royal Daily Report and turn on those notifications, because what comes next is about Archie and Lilibet themselves, and what this UK trip actually means for two children who have never known Britain as a real place. Let us talk about the children. Because in all the noise about security reviews and Ravek decisions and Rebecca English and psychodramas, two actual children are sitting in California right now, 7 and 5 years old, who have been told they are going somewhere new in July. Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor is 7 years old. He was last in the United Kingdom at age 3. He has no real memory of the country he was born in. He has no memory of the Portland Hospital in London where he took his first breath. He has no memory of the chapel at Windsor Castle where he was christened and where his aunts, Lady Jane Fellows and Lady Sarah McCorquodale, stood as witnesses. He only knows Britain as the place his father talks about, as the place in the photographs, as the place where his grandfather lives, as the word that comes up in conversations he does not fully understand yet. Lilibet Diana Mountbatten Windsor is 5 years old. She has been to Britain exactly once in her life, for the Platinum Jubilee in June 2022. She was 1 year old. She has no memory of it. No memory of the garden party where she met her great-grandmother Queen Elizabeth for the only time before the Queen died. No memory of her grandfather Charles lifting her up and calling himself overjoyed to finally meet her. These two children are real. They exist beyond the headlines, beyond the security reviews, beyond the psychodramas and the palace sources and the royal reporters. They are 7 and 5, and they are about to walk into a country that their father says is central to their heritage. For the first time with memories. For the first time old enough to understand where they are. And Marie Claire, reporting on June 18th, raised something that is both beautiful and unavoidable. They noted that Harry and Meghan have spent years protecting their children's faces. Clever crops, back of headshots, creative poses. The world has barely seen what Archie and Lilibet actually look like. 6 years of carefully guarded privacy. And now, in mid-July, they will be in Birmingham, England, in one of the most photographed and most watched environments on Earth. And Marie Claire said what everyone is thinking. Given the high publicity of the Invictus Games events and the excitement of seeing Archie and Lilibet back in the United Kingdom, it seems inevitable that photos of their faces will emerge, whether Harry and Meghan want them to or not. Now let us talk about what happens next. Because as of tonight, June 29th, the situation is genuinely uncertain in a way it has not been before. The visit is confirmed by People magazine and ABC News. The children are coming. Meghan is coming. Harry is coming. But the security is declined. And without government security, the practical reality of this trip changes significantly. Harry has fought in court for years for reinstated protection precisely because he says that without it, bringing his family to Britain is not safe. He told the BBC explicitly that he could not see a world where he brought his wife and children back without proper protection. And now the government body has said no. Again. So either the visit happens with private security only, which Harry has always said is inadequate for the threat level he faces, or Charles's personal offer of security, reportedly extended to cover the family during their stay, becomes the arrangement that makes it possible, or something changes in the next 2 weeks. Another review, another negotiation, another back-channel conversation between palace aides and Sussex representatives. This story is moving in real time. And what happens between today, June 29th, and mid-July will determine whether 2 small children who have been waiting for years to come home finally get there, or whether they are let down one more time by the machinery of an institution that claims to love them but keeps finding reasons to make their return complicated. Here is what this story tells us about everything. A grandfather offered his personal security to his son because the government refused to provide it. The palace is furious about a psychodrama that it says the Sussexes created themselves. And yet Charles still wants to see Archie and Lilibet. Still, above every institution, above every security committee, above every royal reporter's carefully sourced criticism, above every piece of political machinery that surrounds him, he wants to see his grandchildren. That is a 77-year-old man with cancer, who has not held these 2 children since June 2022, who raised a toast to an absent grandson at his own coronation, who reportedly wept when Harry brought him a framed photograph of the family at Clarence House, cutting through everything to hold on to the one thing that matters most. 2 small people, carrying his blood, coming home. This is Royal Daily Report, and we will be here for every moment of what happens next. That is all for tonight, friends. I am James, and this has been Royal Daily Report. If this story hit different for you, hit that like button right now. Subscribe if you have not already, and turn on those notifications because we drop new stories every single week. Share this video with one friend who loves royal news. I will see you in the next one. Until then, stay informed, stay curious, and stay royal. Goodbye, friends. Hello, friends. If you are not subscribed to Royal Daily Report yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button right now.